So as you know, when I do tea, that I take into account things that you guys have told me that you want to discuss, and then I also tap into universal energy and ask, what do people need to know right now? What is going to be most helpful for them? And I have been hearing a lot of, it was just repeating over and over again, lead with love, lead with love, lead with love. So I think that today it's really important to talk about how we're able to lead with love, how we can invite more love into our lives, how we can approach things with love. So to bring that down, I wanted to give you 5 tips to take away today. So 5 tips to help you lead with love. All right, so I'm Serena James. I'm glad to have you here at Tea. If you are catching the replay, go ahead and say so below. Feel free to drop comments at any time, and I will do my best to respond to those. All right, so when we're talking about love, so something else that popped up to me, have you ever seen the movie Monsters, Inc.? If you've seen the movie Monsters, Inc., go ahead and drop a reaction or leave a comment below. So in Monsters, Inc., there's monsters who go into kids' bedrooms to scare them, to capture the energy so that they can fuel Monsters, Inc., the community that all these monsters live in. So when the kids scream and get scared, that generates energy, fuel that they are able to convert into fuel to keep their town going, okay? So one of the monsters gets attached to one of the children, or one of the children gets attached to one of the monsters, but this child ends up over in Monster Land. I'm not sure what the city is called. And that's like forbidden, like children can't be there, but they actually do, the monsters care about this child, so they do their best to try to get Boo back to the human realm. So something that happens towards the end is that the monsters discover that laughter also generates tons of energy that can be converted into fuel. So that's really, I don't know if that's like the moral of the story here, okay? But it's a really cool adventure, but it just shows you that the laughter also produced a lot of energy, so we didn't have to be scaring kids. We could make the kids laugh, and that's what the monsters started doing. And so then you see this cool relationship between monsters and kids as they go in and crack jokes and kids laugh, okay? And that proved to be even more effective than the screams and the scares. So a little lesson from Monsters, Inc. So take it as however you want, but I just really think that's interesting to show us that, like the old way of doing things, collecting these screams, scaring people, which could be viewed as kind of a negative experience, if you wanted to say that, or a low vibrating experience. And when they found out something that was more joyful, like laughter and happiness and coming from a place of compassion, really yielded the same type of results, but in a more positive and beneficial way. So I think that a lot about, look at the emotions of anger, of love, or happiness, of hate, of love. All of them are actually pretty passionate emotions, right? They are passionate, but one or a couple of those are very difficult for our bodies to process and deal with. Like it hurts physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and that would be anger and hate. That it can wreak havoc on our well-being, but it certainly is passionate. So we have love, we have joy. Those are also passionate emotions and feelings, but they feel a lot better and they cultivate wellness. So I just find it really important to be able to talk about how can we approach things more from a loving perspective, from a loving angle? And I am someone who used to have a lot of anger, and I thought it was totally normal. I thought it was normal for something to trigger you and to feel like that blood boil in your face to get red. I thought that was normal, okay? And it really was after I started doing a lot of the energy healing and the holistic health that temper subsided, and I realized that is probably not a typical reaction. I realized that not everybody gets triggered and feels that anger as passionately as I did, but I know that there's people who do. So it's just really interesting how when you really start working on your inner self, the mind, the body, and the spirit, how you realize that things that were really typical for you, there might be an easier and healthier way. And that's really what I found. So with 5 tips of approaching life with love, of leading with love, here's the first one that I want to start with. You may have heard this before. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? These are questions that we have been prompted to ask before we say anything, before speaking. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Now first, I tried really hard to find out who to attribute this quote to. Some say it is Buddha, some say it is not, some say it came from a collection of poems, some say it doesn't, some say that you can find it anywhere. So maybe it's just kind of one of those golden rule type things here. So I'm not sure who to attribute this to, but it's not original thought, so I don't want to take full credit for this, okay? So somebody at some point in time encouraged us to ask, is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Before we speak. Now, sometimes when we speak, we don't give it much thought. Sometimes we speak impulsively. Sometimes we speak to hear ourselves talk. Sometimes we speak to really get somebody, to really make somebody think, or to put somebody to shame, or to make them feel bad in some sort of way. Sometimes we do speak out of love and kindness, and to lift each other up, and to be productive, and to be beneficial and helpful. And so I wanted to start with that. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? It is something that you can try to integrate in your daily living. For example, all of us, if you're on here, you probably have Facebook, or you could be watching this on YouTube, but you probably have Facebook, and we all know what it's like to scroll through Facebook and to see a comment from somebody and to be so tempted to go in there and just type away, something like that would be really like shocking or inspiring, or something that we really think will just put somebody in their place, And some of us do that. And then some of us just scroll on past, right? So is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Whether it's the spoken word or the written word, these are things that really can help us to lead with love in the conversations that we choose to have with other people. And now you might be asking, well, sometimes I think that this is leading with love. I think that I am coming from a loving place, and I think that I really do need to say this. I need to share this information. Somebody needs to hear this from me. Like, those are things that people do go through, wondering how to share their message, and how am I supposed to share it appropriately? How do I share it without turning people off or offending people? That's something that I have gone through a lot of, like, how do I say these things that doesn't completely make somebody not want to engage with me anymore. And those can be difficult things, and of knowing how to approach, and that's where you just go within. What am I supposed to be doing here? What am I supposed to be saying? And is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? And so when you really start working within yourself, if you're working with spirit, if you're meditating, if you're praying, if you're grounding, and you're getting these messages that really feel like they need to be shared with people, then do as you feel called to do, and know that those are probably those messages are more than likely coming from a space of love. So you can feel secure in knowing that, even if it feels like you're unsure of wanting to share that message, it more than likely is coming from the space of love. All right, number 2. So this one, okay, so the way that I wrote it out was to check yourself, okay? And I definitely mean that as unaggressively as possible. But what's important here is to recognize that it's really easy to point out other people's shortcomings. It's very easy to notice everything that's wrong with somebody else or another group or the way that things are done. And but then sometimes it's, maybe there's things that we could work on too, So I think at any point in time, all of us probably have some inner self-work to do. And so sometimes if you find yourself being like critical of so many people and things around you, it might be time to ask yourself, what am I not working on within myself? Okay, so I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with the other people. I'm not saying that there's tons of things wrong with you. I'm not saying those things at all. I'm just saying that if you're finding yourself being very critical of things that are going on around you, it might be time to look within and say, okay, what do I need to work on? What lessons do I need to be learning that I'm not learning right now? What lessons am I putting off? What messages am I not hearing? What do I need to learn about myself? Looking outside constantly for your own happiness and well-being can be a great indicator that it is time to look within. Another part of this is, I do talk a lot about giving yourself grace. After I do healings for people, it's like, give yourself grace, honor your body. Do what you are feeling called to do. If you need to rest. If you're energized and motivated, then get after those projects if that's what you want to do. But give yourself grace. And so leading with love is not only giving grace to yourself, but also giving grace to other people too. Sometimes I look at things as like, just because I think I'm right doesn't actually mean I'm right. Right? So just because I think I'm right does not mean I'm right. And just because I think somebody else is wrong does not necessarily mean that they are wrong. So giving each other grace to explore our own selves, our roles in our communities, and ways to move forward by leading with love, we can give each other grace, right? So number 3. Okay, so this is more of that spiritual aspect, that higher self aspect. So when you're finding yourself like angered or hurt or frustrated with situations, from a place of love and compassion, ask, what is your role here and how can I be of service? What is my role here? How can I be of service? All of us have different roles to play. Some people are doers. They're going to be out there taking action on the front lines. Some people are doing things behind the scenes that you don't even know about that are having a profound effect. Some people are bridging gaps. Some people are just playing a part in leading with love that we're not always aware of. So yes, there are things out there. There are so many things. so many things that can be improved, can be better, that will, that we need to stop violating each other's boundaries. We need to love our brothers and sisters. We need to, there's so much area for improvement. There's so many different causes, social issues that could be improved. So, what role do you play in those? What is your role here? What is my role here? How can I be of service? Coming from a place of love and compassion. Now, it's easy, like I said, remember, love is passionate, anger is passionate. So, can you be lovingly passionate about something that you view that is wrong, that needs to be changed? Yes. Can you be angrily passionate about something that you view as wrong and needs to be changed? Yes. So now we have to figure out where does most progress, change for the better come from? Does it come from the anger? Does it come from love? Can we approach things with love? Can we lead with love? You can, and you can choose that. So from a place of love and compassion, how or what is my role here, and how can I be of service? You can ask those same questions from a place of anger, and you will get two different paths to take. We get to choose which one we want to take, right? Love and compassion or passionate anger, okay? Number 4, a fourth tip. I just want people to know, you find what you look for every time. Every time that you are looking for something, you will see it. So let me give you an example. Working with like aromatherapy and essential oils. Lots and lots and lots of people use them. There is actually lots of research out there that shows that they are effective. And then you always, but there's still people that, are unsure of it. And not really certain that that's a route that they want to take for themselves, which is totally fine, by the way. Okay. But in the research age, here's what we do. We Google, are essential oils bad for you, right? So you search, are essential oils bad for you? And then what do you get? You get all the articles that tell you essential oils are bad for you. If you search, are essential oils good for you? What do you get? All the articles that tell you essential oils are good for you. So right now, I actually kind of remember when the internet first really came out, okay? There was no Google. You bought a book. You bought a guide to websites. You looked at pictures like, oh, that website looks cool. I want to go visit that. And you typed in the actual HTTPS, or well, it's probably just HTTP then, address. You typed in the domain name. You didn't go search like vacuum forum groups to find the best vacuum. Like, you didn't have that. You had to go physically type in the web address for a website. So there was no Google, and there was not a lot of information. When search engines finally did start to come around, I think it kind of, Yahoo is maybe the first one that I noticed, you could type things in and there wouldn't be a search result for it because it had not been indexed yet. There was not a web page that had that information yet. And very, very quickly, over the last 2 decades, there is so much information on the internet. It is unbelievable how much information is out there. So when you go search something on the internet today compared to when I first started, you can find tons and tons of information, and you are going to find both sides of the aisle. You're going to find things that support something, things that are against something, and then you might find some stuff that's in the middle. So you're always going to find whatever you're looking for. Again, in the case of the essential oils, if you're searching, are they bad for me? You're going to find those articles. Are they good for me? You're going to find those articles. So you're always going to find what you are looking for. I share this in my book, Vibe Higher. I was dating a guy, and he had this pair of black jeans that I did not like at all. I didn't find them attractive. I didn't think they looked nice. I didn't like them at all. And so I would always, before we would go out, I would always think, like, please don't wear the black jeans. Please don't wear the black jeans. And sure enough, like, every time we went out, he's wearing the black jeans. And so I think I watched The Secret on Netflix or something, and and this is before that I had really gotten into or familiar with energy healing, and I saw that how they talk about how what you focus on is what you experience. So I thought about, okay, like another pair of pants that he had that I really liked. So I remember very consciously thinking about them, knowing that we were going to go out one point in time. And I honestly can't tell you if he wore the ones that I hoped he would or not, but I do know that he did not wear the black jeans, okay? So whatever you focus on, you're going to see. Whatever you focus on, you're going to find. And so if you're looking for things to be upset about, you're going to be able to find those things, right? If you are looking for things that will bring you joy, you're going to be able to find those things. So whatever you're looking for, you're going to be able to find. So choose wisely. Now, I don't mean don't ever go out and look for negative news. This is how we find out about social issues. This is how we find about causes that we do feel passionate about, that we feel compassion for, that we want to take an active role in. So I'm not saying like never look at bad news. I'm not saying that, because there are a lot of things that need a lot of love and healing to get to a much better place for health and well-being, for mind, body, and spirit collectively. Okay, so there are things out there, but I'm just wanting to say, if you find yourself really angry, upset about something that other people might have like a different viewpoint, you're always going to be able to find what you're looking for. So if you ever thought, like I said earlier, just because I think I'm right doesn't mean I'm right. So if you ever wanted to allow in like some love and compassion into your points of view and the way that you view the points of view of others, then you can lead with love and might have a different type of reaction. It doesn't mean that you change your mind or you change your opinion. I'm not saying that, but it gives you a different type of reaction and allows for moments of conversations. It allows conversations to happen, and it when conversations start happening, it allows for goals to be made and for people to come together and come up with better, healthier solutions for moving forward. So you find what you look for every time. Choose wisely. Lead with love. Okay? So tip number 5, gratitude. Lead with love with gratitude every time. You would be hard pressed to look for anything having to do with the wellness of the mind, body, and spirit that doesn't mention gratitude. That's because gratitude is so powerful. I just listened to a show, and I wish I could remember what it was called, but it had to do with water. And I'll look it up and try to leave it in the comments for you. So it had to do with water and how water is a living being. It has energy. But it also reacts to the energy around it. And it talks about how when people would consciously give gratitude to their glass of water, that they could actually measure the vibration of that water increasing. And that is like a really amazing thing. So by the way, whenever you go take a drink now, thank your glass of water, but serious. And so you have actual scientific proof that giving gratitude, showing love and compassion towards your glass of water increases the vibration of water. Now, everything is energy. Can you imagine now that giving gratitude towards other things that are energetic beings, that it would raise its vibration? It does. So giving gratitude towards yourself, giving gratitude to others raises their vibration. Giving gratitude to your thoughts, your ideas, your goals raises their vibration. So gratitude is so important. I really want to read you the Vibe Higher Gratitude chapter in this book, and it is quick, you guys. Like, this is such an easy read, and can give you such powerful, beneficial transformation. So I highly recommend it. So in the gratitude chapter, here's what it says. Gratitude is very powerful for raising vibrations. Studies suggest that gratitude can even lower anxiety and depression. Practicing gratitude means actively feeling grateful or demonstrating acts of gratefulness. You can increase your vibration by up to 60% each time you practice gratitude. You can have gratitude for anything: your gifts and abilities, people in your life, your successes and accomplishments, your material possessions, and your experiences and opportunities. Showing and expressing gratitude towards others, nature, and animals is also beneficial. Practicing gratitude might be one of the quickest ways to increase your vibration. You can do it anywhere, and it really doesn't require any special materials to do so. However, if you feel like nothing is really going right in your life, you might find it difficult to recognize things to be grateful for. There is a solution to support you. Here we go. Gratitude doesn't always have to be for something you already have or experienced. It can be for something you desire. For example, you can be grateful for your promotion at work, your ability to pay bills with ease, for having strength and patience, or finding an honest and loving partner. Those are just some examples, but you can see that you can have gratitude for what you wish to experience. By giving thanks to something you desire, you are consciously aligning yourself with the frequency of that reality. So I know that there are times where it is so difficult to feel grateful for things. Like when you're feeling like that down or that upset, it can be very, very difficult to do so. And so honor those feelings, honor those moments, but then regroup and come back and recognize things that you wish to have, that you desire to have. What does your utopia look like? What does your happiness look like? What is your joy? And send gratitude to those things. Say thank you, thank you, thank you. And send out that gratitude. We can be grateful for what we desire to see, and start moving that energy into that direction for us. Lead with love by practicing gratitude. Okay, I want to share a gratitude exercise for you. And first, I just want to go over with the top 5 tips that I wanted to share with you today to help you lead with love. Number 1, before speaking, is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Ask those questions. Number 2, check yourself, right? Give yourself grace as you would want others to give grace to you, and vice versa. Give others grace as you would want them to give grace to you. I think I might have said that wrong. Okay, give yourself grace, give others grace, right? Okay, number 3, to lead with love. From a place of love and compassion, ask, what is my role here? How can I be of service? Number 4, lead with love by choosing wisely what you're looking for. Remember, you find what you look for every time, so choose wisely. And number 5, gratitude. Practice gratitude every time. So, to round out today, I want to share with you, there's 3 different gratitude exercises that I have in here that people can choose from. The first one is, and I would like you to do this if you would like to. Say 3 things you are grateful for at this moment. You can type them in the comments below. You can say them to yourself. You can say them out loud. But say 3 things that you are grateful for in this moment. Okay? 3 things you're grateful for at this moment. And you can do this anytime throughout your day that you feel like you need like a pick-me-up or to refocus, to recenter. You can do that. Just say 3 things that you're grateful for at this moment. The second gratitude exercise I have in here is to think about something that you desire. So now, right, this is the point where it doesn't even have to be that you can't think of something presently to be grateful for. This can be something that you use to help you actualize things that you desire, right? So think about something you desire but haven't yet actualized and give it gratitude. So think about, something that you would like to have, something that you would like to experience, something that you would like to see, to feel, and think about that and send it gratitude. Tell it thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, and again, that is an exercise that you can do at any time throughout your day, multiple times, however often as you would like. And the third exercise that I have in here, and this is for people who do better with like a schedule, a regimen. This is at the beginning and ending of each day, focus on something you are grateful for and say thank you. So that is a great way to start your day and to end your day, and again, works very well for people who are of routine, like schedule and structure. That works really, really well. At the beginning and ending of each day, focus on something that you are grateful for and say thank you. Okay, so that is the 5 tips right now to help you lead with love. I do want to mention that I'm still sticking with virtual appointments, so I'm doing phone, Zoom, and email healing sessions. There is a self-study workshop that if you want to do that, if you're ready for something more intense, check out the 14-day Original Divine Blueprint Kickstart program. I just reduced the price of that as well as reduced the prices for all my services, and that is my I guess COVID-19 updates there. I understand that this is not an easy time for people, that it's kind of difficult, but the well-being of your mind, body, and spirit is always my top priority at all times. So I am here to support you the best ways that I can. And SpiritualiTEA, this is a free discussion group. Feel free to leave your questions, comments, experiences at any time. I'll do my best to respond to those. Just through the end of this year, through December 31st, you will see that reduction in price for services and programs. So I encourage you to check that out. And like I said, if you are catching the replay, go ahead and leave comments below. I'll do my best to respond to that. But thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Serena James. I'm happy to chat with you, and with love and light, have a wonderful day.